Now put your hands
up. Good morning, everybody. Molly Faye is off today, so we've got the lovely Stephanie Brown filling in again this morning for us. Thank you for being here.
Oh, love it.
We had the single guys here last Monday on the panel where we learned from a bunch of bachelors that it's not okay to break up via text.
Yes.
And we want to know, is it okay for guys to use emojis? We're going to answer all these questions.
Yep, and today we welcome Sasha Laurie, Allison Kellaher, Beth Eckman, and Hannah Toldt.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for being here. First of all, beautiful.
Yeah, looking great this morning. How are you guys single?
Exactly. People ask you that. Don't they ask you that all the time? People ask me that. How are you single? I'm sorry, we're jumping right in. But they ask me how you're single, and I'm like, I don't know. Like,
you're waiting for the right thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we don't settle. I always say, I'm like, what do you want me to do? Okay, I have attachment issues. I'm like,
yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Help me.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Let's answer it. Okay, so let's break down some things. So we had guys here earlier in the week, as I said, kind of doing a panel answering a lot of these questions. Now we want the female perspective, see what you guys think. So starting off, what do you think is the hardest part about dating? Because I've got a lot of single friends as well. We talk about dating, and I think in today's day and age, it's tough. What do you guys think is the hardest part?
I think it's this day and age. I think technology makes it a little bit harder. I'm not on any dating apps, so I think it makes it harder for people to approach you or you approach them. I think it's not really an in-person thing anymore.
Right. Yeah. It's true. It's tough to meet people then. Right. How about for you?
I think the way our culture has shifted in what you should look for, they're teaching you to look for infatuation and all the butterflies, and then people are not perfect and we're broken. And I mean, if you're on the road to marriage, you should be looking for unconditional love and choosing someone even when it's hard. And so I think our minds are warped right now as what we're looking for.
Wow,
that's great. We talk a lot about the fact there's so many options, right, in this day and age that it's like you don't sometimes wait through those issues to get through them. You want to jump onto what's next because there's always something else available.
Yep.
Right.
How about for you girls? What do you think is the hardest part about dating?
I think it's just everyone thinks like you always have to be out there by being on all these apps or these dating apps, or if you're not on an app, I mean, it's just like you overthink it. And I am just at the point now, I'm like, okay, enough with the, like sitting there going, okay, no, okay, I'm off of it. I'm like, I'm just gonna let it be.
Yeah.
But I think people's pressure of like, if you're still single now, you need to be going out every weekend.
I know. Oh, people tell me that all the time.
Deep down in heart. What's wrong with like a relaxing weekend?
Yeah. No, I hear you. What about you?
I'm divorced, so it's a little bit different, I think, for me. But maybe just the roller coaster ride. I mean, it's fun. I enjoy it, actually, but I'm not online either. I think so just meeting people organically is tough.
And where to go once you're past a certain age.
Yeah, usually you're not going to meet your husband at the bar, right? I mean,
or if you go to the bar, then people will be like, well, you didn't really look approachable. So I'm like, okay. Now I'm gonna have a conversation with my girlfriend like this and be like, come on, I mean, approach me. But then you know, it usually ends up nice.
And
like
everybody is so judgy because if you go out with your friends, then they say guys are intimidated by too many women.
Exactly.
So then they say go out by yourself, and then you're judged for being at a bar by yourself. It's like, well, which one do you want me to do?
That's true. Do you think that online dating is acceptable? I would assume most of you said you've used it. Do you think it's pretty acceptable today?
I've never used it, but I know a lot of people that do use it, and it makes sense. I mean, we don't approach business just by feelings, you know, and so trying to make an educated choice of who you end up with, I think online dating makes sense for people.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about you girls? How about being divorced? Have you used online dating?
I used it 1 week twice.
How'd it pan out?
It feels just so exposing to me. But yeah, it should be acceptable. I mean, who is anybody to judge how we meet people? And that's how people meet people in abundance today. So sure, it should be acceptable.
Yeah.
I just can't stand every day is like, well, did you hear about the new one? Did you hear about the new app?
Oh, yeah.
The other day someone said, oh, this one tracks where you are, so technically you could have bumped into this person. I'm like, I have had enough. Oh no. Ridiculous. Yeah.
For people who want to know what the popular dating apps are, what are they? Are they Bumble? Is it Tinder? Is there something new out there?
Yeah. I think you just hit the two that
those are the
most
most common still.
Bumble. Most of the girls I know and most of the guys I know, they're on
Bumble.
And I have friends that like Coffee Meets Bagel, which is where women have more say and get to choose who they go out with.
Do you guys feel that guys are less committal nowadays because they feel like they have so many more options and they are the ones that aren't committing?
I think we all are less committal.
Okay.
Everyone's got high expectations and, you know, I mean.
Yeah, I think with the dating apps, there's so many options, so it's really hard to settle because you're like, I can swipe left on someone else tomorrow. Like, there's just too many options.
Have you guys had bad date experiences? Any worst dates?
I actually had the first time I agreed to ever do an online. I was like, please don't let me run into anyone I know. I don't know this guy. It was so awkward. And one of the things, it didn't last long because it turned bad real fast. But I said to him like something, and he goes, "Oh, don't be flattered. I pass right on everyone." I'm like, check, please. I'm gonna get off this app. Yeah, I was like, who says that?
I know. Manners, like
Back to
Or
the
just
drawing
give a
board.
compliment.
I know,
It's
I was
okay.
like, okay.
You're not gonna. You don't need to break me down.
Yeah, I was
You
like,
need to build me up, right?
Yeah, ego killer.
Okay, so what's the biggest turnoff then from a guy? If a guy approaches you, or if you're at it, what's the biggest turnoff? Let's kind of give them some like information.
I would say a man that flirts with a ton of women. Doesn't like. How do you know their commitment to you then, or how do you know their loyalty to you? I would say someone who's like a smooth talker, talking to tons of women. So that's for me a turn off.
Okay.
How about you girls?
I think a guy that talks too much about themselves and doesn't ask you enough questions. I mean, there's only so long I can listen to you talk.
And that's just like friendship/date etiquette, right?
Completely,
Communication etiquette.
Yeah.
I ask
It's
you
like-
something, you reciprocate. Right?
Exactly.
How about you girls? Biggest turnoffs?
I would say that if you can't hold a conversation, I mean, even if you can have a first date and go, this is never going to meant to be, but you can still enjoy your time. But sometimes you get one of those where you're like, okay, I can't have a conversation with myself. Come on now, like ping and pong kind of thing.
Exactly.
For me, it's not being able to have a sense of silly. Like if you can't laugh and have fun and be goofy. And there's a shocking lack of people out there who have that. I feel like.
They take themselves too seriously, and it's
Exactly.
like, relax.
Make me laugh.
All right, girls, grab your paddles. We're gonna play a little game of legit or lame. So you got one on each side. You tell us if it's legit or if it's lame if this happens. Is it legit to ask a man out as a female?
Legit, lame.
Old-fashioned. All right, there we go.
One lamer.
Asking you out via text. If you're chatting and you haven't spoken on the phone, they ask you out over text. I know your answer.
Yes, I couldn't say that. I know that it happens.
Sometimes it's the only option. Like if that's the only.
Okay.
So I could be in between on that. If they have your number, they should call you.
It's never the only option, though, really.
She's old school. She's like, you should call me. Yes, I hear you. Okay, what about breaking up via text? I think we kind of, lame.
You said it?
She's like, I want the option.
I've done it.
Oh man, you've broken up with someone over text.
I can't let anyone catch me lying about that.
I love it.
I
The
know
honesty is good. All right.
She's the G of the group.
Yes. Texting emojis. In terms of the guy texting you emojis.
So legit.
We're not.
It's got to be like PG. Like I don't need too many coming at me.
I'm like
You
that.
don't need the eggplant?
You want to just keep it masculine. Keep it.
All right.
Yeah, I got you. I
Good to
got
know.
you. What about kissing on the first date? Quick. Legit.
Okay.
I think she's in the middle.
Yeah. All right. How about dating an ex's best friend? Legit or lame?
Depends
long
on the
as
length
it
of the
handles
relationship.
depends on the situation.
Yeah.
She's legit. Wait, girl. You have to bring her back because she has some stories.
Sound like it's real.
Yes.
No,
Allison's got some secrets there.
Yes. I
Long
like you.
distance
She's
relationships?
honest. Legit, lame. Okay, half.
right.
Okay. What about Tinder, Facebook? Meeting guys on Tinder, Facebook. Lame. No, lame.
All right.
Okay.
One last
so none
one.
Of that.
More than a first kiss on a first date. Legit or
Can you
lame?
define more?
We'll let you define that.
Define more, Tiff.
I'm letting
What
them
do you
define
mean?
that. All right, ladies, thank you so much for joining us.
fun.
I think it was great. It was good to get the girls' perspective, so I loved having you guys here. Thanks so much.